Everybody dancing, but I just wanna dance with you. Look. And everybody moving, but I just wanna move with you. And everybody whine, but I wanna slow wine with you. Never been to the island, I wanna take flight with you, with you.
What will go down to present to you Social Remix. Social.
The first and the flesh, get it started. It's Friday and it's Friday.
I am happy to join with you today
Social.
in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. I have a dream.
Social Reload.
This is the work of the work should dance.
Always on the run, a destiny. Oh, it's the rising sun. I was born, a shotgun in my hands, behind the gun. I'll make my final stand. Yeah, and that's why they call me Bad Company. I can't deny. Bad Company. Till the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die. Rebel that's why they call me bad company. I won't deny. Bad company till the day I die. Bad company. I won't deny. Bad company till the day I die. Until 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 the day I die.
I have the pleasure to present to you
Social Radio. Social.
The first and the flesh, get it started. It's Friday and it's Friday.
I am happy to join with you today
Social.
in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. I have a dream.
Social Reload.
This is the one of the worst catastrophes in the world.
I have the pleasure to present to you
Social Radio.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me and I walk alone.
Blues Radio Lounge. How are you? What's going on?
I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps.
Matt the Savior should be with us. How are you?
I said it's Monday.
Hey, it's Monday. There he is, the man with a golden microphone. How are you?
Oh, you know, it is gold though.
It is, yeah. It is gold, that's for sure. I was looking at the subscribers,
Yeah.
and it's 172.
Oh shit. They love that golden voice.
They
It's
do.
so buttery smooth.
Sound like that hippo from what's that movie? Crap. The one with the zoo animals.
Oh yeah, fucking
What's in the
Madagascar.
yeah. What's the hippo guy's name?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
You know, I can't stay
I
away
like
from
the lumpy.
Lumpy.
Yeah.
Lumpy.
So I can't think.
Buttery
of
smooth. Oh,
Honey,
yeah.
Honey Boo Boo did that one time. I don't know why it stuck in my head, but
Honey
Honey
Boo
Boo Boo took butter and just like put it all over like the kitchen floor in the hallway, right?
Hell yeah. And then
And
went
then
sliding.
just slid across the whole damn thing.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I would have.
Them rednecks know how to live, don't they?
Dude, I would have walked in and walked right back out.
Me too.
I'd be like, no, I ain't dealing with this shit.
Not
guys.
for me.
Yeah, you guys can have it. I don't want it. So, welcome to the show. It's
Thank you.
September 19th. I got a couple different stories. One of UT that was a kid was shot at UT.
A kid was shot?
Yeah, a kid was shot. And then if you live in Puerto Rico, you might want to move. Just because of all the
Hey.
hurricanes that go along there.
I do live in Puerto Rico.
Do you really? Is that where your bunker's at?
That's where one of my bunkers are.
Oh, wow, you got multiple, huh?
Yeah. Luckily they're underground though, so the hurricane doesn't matter. We got some slight flooding.
Yeah, there's a small bit of flooding in the Puerto Rican, area. Also, I was reading that I know that you don't care too much for theme parks, but maybe we could talk about it real quick.
You always talk about
No, this was like there was an article on Fox 13 that said Disney World enthusiasts say trip costs too much for an average family.
Yeah,
Survey
fuck yeah, it
shows.
does.
So they were
That's been true.
well, they were saying that online gambling website Time to Play recently surveyed 2,000 self-described Disney enthusiasts of how they feel about rising costs of a family vacation to Disney World.
I don't like it.
According to the results, I don't care for the ice. It costs too damn much, $20.
Like a $30 beer.
Yeah, for a small little shot glass.
For a small beer. Yeah.
92.6% believe the cost of Disney World vacation is now out of reach for an average family. I can see that. Yeah, 68.3% say rampant price increases make it feel like Disney World has lost its magic. 48.3% have postponed a Disney World trip in recent years due to price increases.
You know what made Disney lose its magic to me?
COVID.
No.
No?
When they decided they wanted to be part of the woke agenda.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They turned into SJWs, and I
had heard that they're going to kill out that the water ride they have there, the Splash Mountain.
What about Splash Mountain
They're
now?
going to kill that out and make it into a Pocahontas ride.
Okay.
Or Princess and the Frog ride. I'm sorry, Princess and the Frog ride.
Like, so these things don't bother me, really. And, like, this whole... What do you think about this whole Ariel, Halle Berry, or whatever, playing Ariel, whatever her name is?
I don't care. I mean...
I don't care either. I think that if you do, it's fucking retarded. Like,
Yeah.
whatever the PC term for being stupid is. Like, just... It's,
being stupid. That's it, being stupid.
Yeah.
I was reading over an article about that because for one, I mean,
don't care.
if you just tuned in, we're talking about Disney with their price gouging, and then Halle Berry playing the Little Mermaid, and the new upcoming Disney film of the live action of that film. I don't
Like, honestly, who cares?
I don't care. I mean, traditionally it was a 16-year-old, white mermaid. Okay.
Who can even say what race she was? She was a mermaid. It's all myth.
Well,
like,
I'm
it's-
saying if you're trying to describe, what it would be.
if I was
to
trying to describe her, you're right. I'd probably describe her as white.
I mean, and that's what people see. That's what people envision. That's what people sort of grew up on.
Whatever.
But now, when you try to, it's like
Go cry me a river.
people
Come on.
got upset when Will Smith played Genie in the Aladdin movie. It's like,
What?
yeah, they got upset. They're like, oh man, what's going on with this? And blah, blah,
World
blah.
coming to.
It's like, come on, really? It's just, it's an actor portraying a film, and
Yeah,
that's what they
like,
were
what
looking
is
for.
the big deal?
That's one of the things that I don't understand is that when people go protesting about certain things, and they go, "Hey, I want to protest about, what you think and what you say." It's like, what? Why? Okay, it's a Disney animation. It's a cartoon. All right. If you don't like it, then don't have your kid watch it.
You definitely don't have to watch it.
Right. Nobody's forcing you to watch, but to sit there and throw a bitch and a fit and a company, not let's just say any company for that matter, they lose $4 or $5 million and they've got to let go 1,000.
That's up
different
to them, by
employees.
the way. Like, if they knew what they were doing when they did it, and if it was a risk that they were willing to take, it's on them. It's their business. It's a
Well,
business.
yeah, that's true. That is very true. But for the
It's like-
person, the consumer, to sit there and go, well,
I don't like that product. You better change your
yeah,
product.
it's
These
like.
companies you're shopping from.
Right. It's like when the Beauty and the Beast, they made a big stink about that because the villain, the Gaston, right? Yeah.
Okay.
He, I think got shot by an arrow and fell off the building, right? Well, okay, so what? They're like, well, it's horrible for my kids, and and it's like, well, then teach your
Then
kids
don't.
that.
Also, just don't take them to watch it. Nobody's telling you that they need to
Right.
be.
I mean, did your kids watch Bambi? Well, yeah.
Yeah,
well, then
right.
What happened to
Right
that?
away, the mother dies. Like, come on, man.
That's the biggest aggravation for me is when I hear stories about how people's child's his life has just changed and just
Shattered
they need
innocence.
therapy and this and that because of,
Shattered as innocence.
right. And I'm like, but why did you go take them to go see that film? Why did you go take them to go see that thing in the theme park? As a parent what the consequences are.
You know what you're doing.
Right.
And if you don't, you damn sure better do some research
right.
first.
You know what's going to happen. It's like you don't go on a trip. Let's say if you go to California, you know that there's going to be, gangs anywhere inside there, right? So you make gangs, 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 gangs. So you make a point to not go into certain areas of California, like Los Angeles, right, where most trouble is going to be in. You know what I mean? Like Compton and Watts. You don't want to go inside those type of neighborhoods.
Well, unless you do, but you got to know.
Right.
Yeah.
But
what
nevertheless,
the
I
features
mean, it's an animation. Why are you throwing a fit over an animation? There's a lot more bigger things in this world to be mad about, like paying your bills, getting groceries, making sure your kid's fed with that, Nutri-Grain bar that you bought at Target for $40.
Exactly.
There's lots more things to be upset than what I'm sure your kid is watching more stuff that you don't know about because of the iPhone or whatever Samsung Galaxy 285395 that they have, with the iWatch and the 48 whatever, headphones and shit like that. So what you think that your kids are probably watching on Facebook, if you're not monitoring that, they're probably watching a whole lot more and probably playing a whole lot more shit than you probably think. And they're probably
You're not even. You would definitely hate.
What's that?
That you definitely wouldn't be okay with.
No, hell no. Because then now they're thinking, hey, I'm bamboozling mom and dad. You know what I mean? It's like, but you know what? If you're a good parent, you can sniff it out. You know what I mean? And you sit there and go, what the hell you doing? Let me see. Are you on something that you're not supposed to be on? Yep. All right, cool. Give me it. Let's go. You know? Not just sit there and go, oh, it's okay, little Johnny. Just don't watch it again. You know? And then, of course, once the parent leaves, the little Johnny's going, ha, 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 I just bamboozled mom and dad. Ha.
Exactly.
You know, and it's sickening because it's like, all right, these people who were growing up, whenever we were growing up and stuff like that, what this stuff is about, all right? Like, you know if you're going to let your kid watch a Freddy movie, there's going to be blood. There's going to be suspense.
There's going to be a sex scene.
Right. All that. So why sit there and make a big stink out of it and go, oh, my God, my child was... Well, how old was your child when you were watching it? Okay, 5 years old. Did you explain to them that this was just fake to them? No. Well, then what... Well, I don't understand what you're bitching about then. Why would you even watch a film, if you know the kid's going to get freaked out? I mean, listen, this is parenting 101. If you know your kid's going to get freaked out about something like that, then why take them? Why go through all that mess?
Yeah, why are we even doing this?
Right. It's like when I see people, when I used to work for Busch Gardens, I used to see parents bring their 6-month-old in the stroller through the houses. Now, mind you, at 6 months old, they're not really going to know anything, but still, nevertheless, the decibel level, I think, in my opinion, would be way too high, for that type of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
But then they sit there and they bring their little kid, 4, 5, 6, all 10, whatever, inside these houses. And mind you, some of these kids are really cool and ready to go, but some of these kids are frightened half to death. And they told us that when you scare a family, you don't scare the kid, under I think it was 10 or something like that, or whatnot. You kind of make a joke a little bit, but then you scare the parents half to death, for bringing the kid to there. You don't want to have the kid have therapy. You want to make the parents have therapy.
Right.
Bringing them. But to me, that's kind of goes hand in hand because it's like, that you're watching these movies, all these movies have been brought to real life and stuff like that. You know what these movies are about. You know what these movies are going to have in them. You know what the plot is. So why are you going to bitch afterwards that it's affecting whatever it is that's affecting your life? I mean, I just don't understand that. Why even? It's like putting in a porno movie in there and trying to explain to the kid what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just don't do that. Because not only are you just now putting imagery into their head that's going to affect them most likely, now you're kind of spoon feeding them a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
they call it grooming. Right,
and these are the people who are supposed to be running this country in the next couple decades. These are the people who were supposed to. I mean, think about it. These are the people who were supposed to be, coming, and presenting and wanting to go for presidencies and governors and stuff like that, and we're being these kids are now being raised that it's okay to be a douchebag. It's okay to be to cry and depend on mommy if you need something and whatnot, which is fine in one sense, but then in another sense it's like you got to learn to get up off your feet and stand up on your own too,
Of course, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go to a dissertation about that. It just bothers me when people do that because I hear it all the time about how these cartoons are like just so disturbing and there's petitions this and petitions that. It's like, come on, really? It's
Yeah.
a cartoon, you know? And that's what happened with that ride. They petitioned that ride so much that they changed it.
So, and that's the thing, and that's exactly what I was saying about like they went all social justice warrior and everything like that, and I don't like it. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily the fact that they want to post an opinion or anything like that, because I mean, whatever, fine, but it's the fact that they're allowing like this type of person kind of direct their
Mhm.
flow, if you will.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they're setting these weird precedences on what seems like bandwagoning
And
as,
see,
but as like a company. So it's really
Right.
weird. I don't know. It just seems like something they shouldn't be involved in.
right. And it seems to me like you said too, I also just to put a caveat on it seems like they're caving in just to appease the mob. You know, and
Right.
and
They're like,
I-
look, we're cool, we're hip, we're with it.
right, and it's fine to appease the mob because you want to attract those customers and those people
I
to
guess,
your
but
stuff.
if you ask me, they're alienating their actual customer, which is
True.
heterosexual couples with children.
That is true. Yes.
They're like, no, fuck them. That's not what you want to, that's not what you want. Anyway, I don't want to get into a political thing.
No,
That's
no, no,
silly.
no. I mean, it's not a political thing. I mean, you're hitting it right on the button. You know, the thing is that before COVID, it was all fair as game go to like Disney, right? It was all fair as game go to Universal or whatnot. No big deal. And then once COVID started happening, well, then Disney started losing their economic value, because their whole, revenue and operational ride base is based off of people there in the park, bodies in the park. I mean, you know that just as well as I do,
Yeah.
So you take away all that, right, for a number of times, and that what happens is that they now have no money coming in. Does that make sense?
Oh, of course.
So because one time I heard the they make the most money out of the parking lot.
From the parking lot.
Yeah, from their part, the Disney, the Walt Disney employees, the one who works in the parks, not the managers and stuff like that, but the people who are like the employees. They get their checks, from what I understood, from what they make out of the parking lot payments. So basically, that $40 or that however much it costs to park and preferred parking or whatever, that's what's going to the employees that actually work there, that physically operate the ride, serve your food and stuff like that.
Really?
So, oh yeah. There was a guy that I used to work with. His name was Haluka, and he do pneumatics for Busch Gardens, for HOS and such. But then he'd work for Disney at the same time, and he would dress as the Disney animated character. The one that the eyes move up and down and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he said that they would have 2 escorts go down there in this giant vault, open it up below ground, right?
Yeah.
And they would physically help him put on the suit. He wouldn't touch anything. It was like they were just sort of like security, Men in Black type of deal, But that's the problem. You don't have any money to pay for these people. You have any money to pay for your employees. You have no money to pay for your rides because you can't pay for the electricity that these rides take to use, And speaking of that, did you go to HOS when they had Unearthed?
Unearthed. I don't think so.
The one that was sort of like the main thing for HOS for Busch Gardens.
I don't remember. No.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had a house called Unearthed. That house just to run without cast members, lighting, electrical, special effects, fog machines, stuff like that,
Right.
was right up there at $1 billion.
How much?
$1 million just to run.
Must be nice.
You know, so and that's what I'm saying. Like all this stuff, like the money that comes in from all this stuff, that's how they pay for all this mess. You know, and when you raise the prices on this stuff, you know nobody's going to come. And now with COVID happening, you know they were shut down for what, almost a year, right?
I couldn't even tell you.
Something like that. And then
Definitely a year at least.
yeah, and then once they started up all the rides, they were like, huh, well, some of them don't even work. You know.
Oh, was that right?
Oh yeah, because they haven't been run. I mean, you have to see that these rides run like 24/7 when the park's open. So they're constantly going, you know, because they're servicing probably, depending on the ride, probably like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 people on average per ride. You know. Per like I think every 20 minutes or so. So you have to like, I mean, even with the houses, I mean, you could probably get, you know, over like 200 people coming through an hour. It's a lot of people. But with these, they haven't, none of them have started up in almost a year. And then they started doing, what do you call it? We have to call and make a reservation.
Oh yeah.
If you're
Reservation.
if you're like a pass member, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, but then they stopped selling passes. They said, "Sorry about your luck, kid.
Not happening.
Not happening." So then I heard one story during all this that when they charged